Hello all, I'm Sai and you're watching The Book Dragon. In today's video, I'm bringing to you my May TBR. I've planned only 5 books for my May TBR and I'm okay if I just read these 5 books alone in May because I'm going to take things slow next month because for the past 2 to 3 weeks, I've been feeling a lot slumpy when it comes to reading and I've not been able to put a lot more focus when I sit down and read. It's been very difficult, so I don't want to push myself so hard and get into a slump because getting out of that will be very hard. So without any further ado, let's get into the list right away. All the 5 books in this list are only books which I'm very much excited to read and I definitely want to read. So of these, the first one is Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. This is the first book in the Dark Artifices series. I've just got one more series and Ghosts of the Shadow Market left to complete in the Shadowhunter Chronicles. So I'm going to start with this series and this is the biggest of all. Okay, the first book itself is over 600 pages long and the next 2 books are 700 and 900 pages long respectively. So this will take quite a bit of time for me to read, and I also don't want to push myself and speed read these books because it will definitely take the fun out of them. Also, I've been very eager to pick up this series because I've heard that of all the Shadowhunter series that are out until now, this is the best of all of Cassandra Clare's works. So I'm definitely a lot more hyped for this compared to all the other books. Also, the protagonist in this one, Emma Castes, is one character who occurs in the last book of the Mortal Instruments itself, and in that book itself she has a big pivotal role to play. And apart from that single book, there's also one short story in which Emma and her Parabatai Julian are becoming Parabatai in Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy. Even that short story was really nice, so I'm expecting a lot more from this one. Also, the sibling group that is shown in this series is huge, so there is definitely going to be a lot more characters, and I've also heard that this is the most emotional of all the series that are out so far. So let's just wait and see how I'm going to enjoy this. The next one is a young adult contemporary. Since I selected a really strong emotional book as my first book in the May TBR, I wanted to lighten it up with some of the other books in this list. So the next one is An Abundance of Katherines by John Green. Okay, this is the second John Green book that he published and I've not read it so far. I've got like 3 more John Green books to read. The first one is this one, and the next one is Will Grayson, which I also own, and the next one is Let It Snow, which is a collection of 3 stories of which one John Green has written. So of all those 3 books, this is the shortest. It's not even 250 pages long. It's about this boy who gets dumped 19 times or 17 times, I don't know properly, by different girls, all of whom are named Catherine. Okay, and that premise of the book itself seems so hilarious, and I've also heard that this is the funniest of all the books John Green has written so far. One thing which I'm sure about John Green books is that they are totally rooted on the characters and we get to know a lot more about the characters and what they are going through. I also hope that it's going to be from first person's point of view, which is my most favorite point of view or perspective when it comes to writing books and reading them from. I'm expecting a lot from this, so let's just wait and see how it's going to go. The next one is a literary fiction and it is also a translated work from Swedish, and I'm talking about A Man Called Ove by Fredrik Backman. Okay, Fredrik Backman is a very famous literary fiction author and this is his first published book and also his most famous of all the books that he's written so far. This is also an author who's the most favorite of one of my most favorite booktubers, who's Murphy Napier. I take a lot of recommendations from her channel. You should check it out if you're interested. Now, this book is about this old man, okay, who's retired and who's living alone in his house, and a story which interacts him with a lot of his neighbors and his cat, if I'm not wrong. I've heard that this is a book which is also really focused and anchored on the main character, who's Ove himself, and I've not at all seen even a single story or book that I've read so far from the point of view of an elderly person. So this is one book which I'm very interested to get through this month. It's also really tiny. It's not even 300 pages long if I'm not wrong. But I do think it will take quite a bit of time to read because the font in this one is really tiny. I've also heard only really good things about this book, not even a single bad review or bad comment about this one from anyone that I've seen so far. So I'm very much excited to read this, and I'm sure that if I end up liking this a lot, I'll definitely review this in the channel. The next one is a romance book and it's an Indian romance. It's the first book in a duology, and I think this is the most famous of all the works of this author so far, and I'm talking about The Boy Who Loved by Durjoy Datta. I actually put one of Durjoy Datta's other books, which is The Perfect Us, in my February TBR and I did not end up reading it. But this one, I think I will read it for sure because I've heard really great things about this one. I think I've not heard so many good things about an Indian romance novel ever before. This is the only book which I've heard so good things about so far. It's about this guy who's from a very normal Indian middle class family with the normal life that any other Indian middle class youngster has, and there are some things which make him so different from the other people. That is, he's very shy and shunned from the general population. his life gets changed when he gets to meet this other girl who is also pretty much like him but different in many other aspects. I know that Durjoy Datta is definitely one of the most sought after Indian authors, and I definitely want to give his novels a try. And also the amount of positive things that I've heard about these two books, which is this one and the sequel, I think it's The Boy with a Broken Heart. I'm not sure what's the name of the book. If I end up liking this, I'll also pick that one up. Let's see how it's going to go for me. The next one is another contemporary book, and it's the first book in a 10-book long series, if I'm not wrong, and it is The Secret Dream World of a Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella. One of the main reasons why I want to read this is because I have 8 of the 10 books from the series in my shelf, and I got all of them for free for an unboxing video, and you can check it out if you're interested. Okay, I'll try to link it down somewhere, or the playlist will also be always linked down in the description. You can check it out if you're interested. One of the main reasons why I want to read this book is because I read only one Sophie Kinsella book last year, and it is Finding Audrey. I have the review of that book also already out in the channel. I should definitely say that book was one of my most favorites from 2020, and ever since I read that book, I wanted to read a lot more books from the same author. I know that this is a series written by Sophie Kinsella, and it's, I think, her most famous collection of books out there. She has written a lot more other books also, and in some pseudonyms as well, but I don't think she's very well known for any of her other works despite the Shopaholic series. I've heard that it's just a really fun and warm-hearted, happy collection of books that everyone will like to read, and it's also the life journey of a woman from her younger years to when she becomes a mother and her later years in her life. That definitely sounds like a very long and happy journey that I'd like to read about, and I'm very much excited to start this series as well. Okay guys, those were all the 5 books in my May TBR, and don't forget to leave your May TBR in the comments below because I'd like to know them. And if you did find this video enjoyable and interesting in some way or the other, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also share it to your friends. If you want to get more content from me, do subscribe to the channel because I publish new videos every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.